Hello! We are back again. Sorry, y'all. This is a mess, honey.
It's like 1 week it's good, 1 week it's bad. Just so you guys know, we've been going through some bad storms here in Orlando.
Darling, this is messier than Meghan Markle's family.
Oh, Lord.
Ugh.
That was a good one.
That was
that
a
one.
yeah.
So welcome back to Theme Park Talk Live.
Yes, darling. Welcome back again. Jenny, I see you. We're pulling up the comments right now. There, Kate. There we go. Hi, Miss Walt Disney World fan.
Now we shouldn't have any problems.
Now we won't have any problems.
Yay.
I think we, Undertake Punk, and we're back.
All right.
All right. So we were talking about let's go back to Pixar. Let's go back to Pixar. Let's start Pixar. So we're going to the West Coast. Y'all come with us to the West Coast.
So Disney has announced at Disneyland they're holding a special Pixar Peer Premiere event on June 22nd. This event is $2.99 per person. Tickets are limited, and this is going to give guests early access to the attractions, food and beverage, and character offerings.
Girl, what do y'all think?
$300.
You better shout out below. Ross, hey baby. Undertaker Punk's like $2.99. Y'all are crazy. I'm sorry. This is what I think. This is me personally. If this was, I think it was you or you, one of the two, said that if this was for Star Wars, oh my gosh, I want to say Galaxy Far Away.
Galaxy's Edge.
Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, I can see that. I can see this being a $300 event, and they'll make it immersive, and it's just all about, Star Wars. Absolutely. 100%, I would pay $300 for that. However, for Pixar Pier, with no extra fun stuff, but just you get to go on the new attractions. Well, new attractions.
That's the thing. They're not really
new.
new.
Absolutely not. Not gonna happen.
No.
There are just a couple other details. Of course, parking is included. Standard parking.
Thank you.
Guests will get unlimited PhotoPass downloads for any photos taken throughout the event with the character meet and greets and other pictures as well. Of course, they'll get first access to this area. And guests are also going to get, I guess, one food item at each designated place in Pixar.
And how many designated places are there?
Poultry Palace, Angry Dogs, Jack Jack's Cookie Num Nums, Senor Buzz Churros, and Adorable Snowman Frosted Treats.
Okay. So I'm curious to see if they keep the price at where it's at and the event continues to go on, what the turnout looks like through YouTube, because I'm sure we'll have some vloggers there. And I'm also curious to see if they lower the price. If they lower the price, you know that they're not getting people to come in and sign up for this. Well, they've done it in the past, so this is something they might lower the price for if there was not a lot of people attending. But
it opens the next day too.
Yeah.
So it's not like this is a week in advance.
It's
just one day.
Oh my God.
I know. Candace says, wow, no thank you. Ross is like, I can buy 30 Chipotles with that money. I'll save that money. Thank you. Mrs. Walt Disney World fan, I know. $2.99, it's ridiculous. And then Undertaker Punk just said, the value might be there, but for the reskin, it's not really worth it to me.
I think I agree, because I didn't say that, so Johnny must have said, but I agree with you on if this was Galaxy's Edge, this is something that would sell out fast, and people would be obsessed with it, and I think it would probably be better value. But for Pixar, for just retheming of attractions that didn't really change, no, you can't justify that.
Nope.
If there's like a specialty meet and greet, like an Edna Mode meet and greet, like when they did, what was it here, Night of the Villains, or when all they had the special villains out, and of course that train wreck, if you all heard about that a few years ago at Studios, maybe.
But hi Tony, welcome.
Hello Tony.
Go ahead. So let's go travel under the sea over here on the East Coast. Well, under the sea and into the
Big
safari.
Yeah, I guess. So SeaWorld announced starting tomorrow through September 2nd for guests 21 and older who visit the park.
And Busch Gardens.
Well, Busch Gardens is separate, but Busch Gardens has a separate taste. But so SeaWorld's going to give away 2 7-ounce beers starting at 10:30 a.m. until 1 hour before the park closes at Mama's Pretzel Kitchen patio to guests 21 and older through September 2nd. Now, Busch Gardens is doing something similar, but I believe theirs is a tasting, if I'm correct.
So small ones at Busch Gardens, and SeaWorld's like full-size beers?
No, 7 ounces.
Oh, 7 ounces.
So
okay.
I'm sure it's very similar, but probably just to drive attendance is what it sounds like.
It's interesting because they used to be owned by Anheuser-Busch for a long time, and that was their staple, was going there to get free beer, and it was really cool. They had it in the was used to be called the Hospitality Center, and it was just a beautiful building, and it was a really neat setup.
Mm-hmm.
And that went away, obviously, when Anheuser-Busch sold to Blackstone, or I forget which group it was first, before Blackstone had it. But interesting that they're bringing that back to get some attendance, because obviously summertime is coming. But interesting. Do you think it would really do much? I don't think it would really do that much. Do you guys? Would you go out to SeaWorld specifically just to get some beer?
Yeah,
it's a nice
pass.
thing. If you had a pass, yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, it's just interesting.
But you're not going there to buy the ticket, just to go have some beer.
Right.
That's for sure. Anna, sorry, and we hope Tony feels so much better. Being ill is not fun. I was just ill just a few weeks ago, so I know how that is. Mr. Walt Disney World fan says, I drank my share at Busch Gardens. See, I'm telling you, but I think Busch Gardens is a good park to have like some tasting and stuff like that, especially when they have like
See, I feel like it's the opposite, because at Busch Gardens, they're all about, of course, you might not be into it like we are. We're not really into the roller coasters there, but that's like where you go for the roller coasters. So I wouldn't want to be drinking and then riding those. At SeaWorld, it's a place to drink because most of the stuff there is shows. So you get a drink and you drink while you're watching the shows.
Yeah, I guess. But at least with Busch Gardens, it's so big.
It is. You can walk around and walk it off. Wait.
Ross says, I'm a year off, so I can't get my beers yet.
I'm sure they'll do it again. If it's
If
successful, they'll do it again.
For
Don't
sure.
you worry.
For sure.
I heard SeaWorld's revenue was actually up.
Oh.
Yeah, there was some recent report that just came out about some quarterly earnings that they had, gone up.
Fabulous.
Made
So the
some money.
attendance has always been steadily going down, but revenue has been either declined or steady. So maybe the revenue did go up. The attendance still probably could be going down, but they're getting that revenue from somewhere else. But it's interesting. We love it. We go out there. We enjoy it.
Mm-hmm. Now, let's keep on the topic of alcohol in theme parks. So let's head over to the Magic Kingdom.
Yes, so Disney this week has made it official. They are now serving alcoholic beverages at all table service restaurants throughout the Magic Kingdom.
I think that's cool.
I think that's fine. I mean, yes, I know what Walt said, that he didn't want alcohol in his parks, but I feel like you have to grow with the times. I think nowadays that's just the way it is. People want a glass of champagne or a beer or something like that with their meal, whether it's in a theme park or
So he said he doesn't want alcohol in the parks, but then at the same time he said it's always going to be ever changing, evolving. So this is it's changing with the times. I think this is a good way of doing it where guests aren't going to be able, because think about it, if you're just having a table service, you shouldn't be sitting there long enough to drink enough where it's going to alter your personality and you cause a ruckus in the park. But if they were doing quick serve, then they'd have a problem on their hand, because you'd have those parents that are just drinking all day while their kids are riding rides. And that could cause a problem. But obviously it's just table service.
Yeah,
so it's
not available at carts.
Exactly.
Right.
So yeah.
makes it a little more fancy. Just to make sure, is it Anna or Anna? I don't know how you'll be able to write that down, because I don't want to mispronounce it. But
Is like Anna from Frozen?
right, that's why I said Anna or Anna. But she said that her drink at the theme park is coffee because she does not like booze. And then Ross said, I'd be going on the roller coasters. Love roller coasters. Talking about Busch Gardens. Parker, you're not late, darling. You're fine. And our internet is terrible because we just had to restart this whole thing.
Well, just so I know, Disneyland, do they have beer and alcohol throughout the
That
park?
was my question. I think they do
I
now.
think they have it at certain locations. I don't think they have it everywhere. Correct me if I'm wrong. If anyone knows that, go ahead, give us a little comment down below and correct
And what
us.
about like Club 33 at the parks?
They do.
Oh, they
Yeah,
do.
They
Club
do.
33 does.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that was the only place where Walt did allow it. Possibly. I could be wrong on that, but I feel like I've watched things on Club 33 where it said that was the one place where he would allow it. Of course, he didn't even get to experience it himself. But it's very interesting because I feel like maybe Disneyland should be the only park where there is no alcohol, because that was where Walt actually stepped foot on, and that was his park, that was his baby. And if that was his wish, respect his wish. But Disney World, really, he had no control over.
Right.
Yeah.
And Candace said it's only a drink with dinner, as long as people aren't walking around with drinks around Magic
Right.
Kingdom. And then Ross just pretty much said what you said. They need to limit. Well, they need to limit people because Disney is the happiest place on earth, and not the drunkest.
Exactly.
I like
well,
that.
other parks do serve alcohol. Epcot, you can't get. It's a little crazy. It can get crazy because
Oh,
they have
Epcot.
a lot of
Oh, my
options. They have
goodness.
some top shelf stuff. It's liquor. But you
I'm
go to
guilty of
Universal,
that.
you go to SeaWorld, and you really don't see the clientele causing issues. I'm not saying it's never happened. It happens, but it's not like an everyday occurrence. And they're serving beers, and they have liquor being served pretty much over the counter, and you can just walk up and get something. It's not causing a big issue, but it's interesting. So there's going to be people out there that really are totally against this, and there's a lot of people that are all for it. So.
Plus, almost every table service restaurant, you have to make a reservation in advance, far in advance.
In advance.
Yes.
Unless you're lucky and get the
What's that to do with
Ohana.
you getting drunk?
I'm just people who have already made plans before this went into effect, or it's not like mom and dad or cousin Steve who likes to drink and just walk up to a card and get buzzed.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So
Ooh,
We all have that family member.
right, I know. Undertaker Punk asked a really good question. On the topic of alcohol, do you think that HHN will ever be a dry event? It is over on the West Coast. It is over on the West
I did
Coast.
not know.
Yes, they do not sell liquor on the West Coast, and it's different. It's so weird because we've gone to both events the same year, so we've seen. We're not saying our event is just horrible because it's not. It's amazing, probably one of the best. But I feel like the crowds at HHN over here on the East Coast, they do get rowdy.
Very
And
rowdy,
it really does. It affects the actors, the team members, because they get punched, they get hit because of the people that drink too much and they think they're all tough and all that, and they'll punch the actors when they're supposed to get scared. But I feel like when we're at Hollywood, it was so different.
It was.
It's like the feel of everything. Everyone was walking around joking, having fun, but it wasn't like the joking, having fun, and then you see somebody vomiting.
Yeah, it's
in
interesting.
trash
When we
can.
went to Hollywood, it was really a cool experience because we were still getting the scares, and it had a totally different vibe. It had a really different vibe, and it was really cool. I think Universal Orlando is going to stick with alcohol because most of their revenue is coming from the alcohol sales over here, and this event is a lot bigger than Hollywood's. The attendance over here is a lot higher. They did try years ago. Bill Davis, I think, it might have been his first year in his position at Universal Orlando, but they tried one night as a dry event. It did not go over well. They lost a lot of revenue, and the next night they went back to selling alcohol. They tried it. It did not work out well. They had no choice but to go back because they lost a lot of money because they realized revenue is really truly coming in from not only tickets but the alcohol sales. So
It's the truth. I mean, come on. Can you imagine on this side not having one of those blinky cups?
it sells.
my favorite
People
part.
love
See,
to
people
collect this
love
stuff.
people love to collect that kind of stuff. So, but yeah, Mr. Walt Disney World fan said, drink in moderation, and you're gonna pay all that money to get into the parks just to get drunk.
Yep.
She's like, that's dumb.
Can't remember
I
enjoy it. You can't remember
Can't
it.
enjoy it. Parker, I feel like allowing alcohol in the park just brings in a whole different vibe, especially in Halloween events. I prefer dry events personally.
Yeah.
It does, especially
It
for
does.
Halloween, because everyone is already tense, and like I said, on the East Coast, I mean, we were both scare actors at Halloween Horror Nights, and you get hit, you get punched, you get pushed, all because someone is drunk, and they say, well, you scared me. Well, then why did you pay to get into the event if you don't want to be scared?
I wonder if the alcohol sales really do increase the attendance because you have people that are freaked out and are like, I would never go to an event like that, but their friends talk them into it. You'll have some beers, we'll have drinks, you'll relax once we're there, and they're like, okay, fine, I'll do it because I'll have some beers in me, and they have too much to drink, and yeah, they're not as scared, but then they're just acting crazy. So that, I mean, right there, it's a big circle. Every little piece of the puzzle. It helps
Every
them
little
make money,
spark.
and that's what they're in the business to do, is make money. That's for sure.
That is for sure. So now we're gonna stay over our next topic. We're gonna stay over in the Magic Kingdom. However, this is not a topic that I do not want to talk about. Well, I just don't like talking about it. Um, but go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, I think somebody has to pay for that new dragon somehow, and it sounds like alcohol sales may be the way to do it. If you all haven't heard, so Maleficent Dragon, the Festival of Fantasy Parade, went up in smoke this past week. It was last week.
It was a Saturday of
Last Friday.
well, last Friday.
Last Friday. So we had some really great pictures to show you before and after.
But obviously we don't have our system.
But it's all over there. It's
Take
all
it
over
away,
the internet.
Patrick.
Yeah, no, I mean it's sad. It's sad that the dragon is gone. Hopefully she'll be back. I briefly talked about this. We had talked about this on Monday Fun Day, this past Monday Fun Day. But I have a friend who is a driver for the floats, and she pretty much was just saying that they want her to come back. But the big question is she ever going to breathe fire again? And that's not just that. I mean, that also goes for the her sister that's in Paris that parade that just debuted a few months ago. I think so.
I don't think it was a few months ago. I think it's even newer than that. But yeah, there's a beautiful new parade over in Paris.
But yeah, so I mean, because she hasn't been breathing fire and all that stuff. So yeah, it's sad. But
Also Jack
happy-
Jack too in Pixar Plate Parade.
So they cut out fire altogether.
All the fire effects, because it's probably the same company that made the floats. They're just making sure it's not a fault in this, whatever they put in
It's
there.
interesting because when Characters in Flight went down before it turned into Aerofile, they did the same thing when there was an issue with one in Japan. Thought the balloon went down here for a while too. But who's happy about all this? Aurora.
Oh, I know, Aurora. She is in the parade now, and she is living, honey. She is living because, oh my goodness, she was. If you guys remember, when they announced the parade, Aurora and Philip were supposed to be on the opening unit with Belle and Princess Tiana, but of course, at the last minute, they changed it and put Anna and Elsa, and took Philip and Aurora out. So, so that happened. So now she's happy to be back in the parade.
She made her debut.
She made her debut. But I want to go back to Anna's question. She had, what is your theme parks like for disabled people? Ours in the UK is bad for disabled. That's a really good question.
Very good question.
I feel like they are, or at least over here on the East Coast. I mean, I can't say much for the West Coast, but over here, I'd say they're good. I mean, I think most of the attractions and the queues for the attractions are all wheelchair accessible, and they're more mindful now. I think because before you had to have a ticket or something like that, guest assistance card, and now they've cracked down on that. To have one of those. So I feel like now it's starting to be a better system out in the parks.
Well, yeah, legally, every state, over here in the States, the American Disabilities Act, they are legally required to make sure every attraction is accessible to everyone. All the queues have to be wheelchair accessible. There has to be ramps at every stairwell. If there is no elevator, so we're very, very accepting over here because our government does require, there are laws in place to make sure those in wheelchairs can access everything. It's not just for theme parks, it is all public buildings and businesses.
And for the rides too, there's certain, oh my gosh, what are those words?
Certain ride vehicles, you can stay in your wheelchair.
Yeah.
There are some you
they're
can't.
all built specifically for wheelchairs.
Guests who can't transfer, for example, at Toy Story Midway Mania, they have a separate track. So guests can load in and load out separately if they can't, or they can transfer, and that doesn't deter anywhere from the regular queue. And if there happen to be some attractions or queues that are not wheelchair accessible, Disney or other theme parks are required to have alternate access to get you in there.
Busch Gardens, Tampa specifically, there used to be a boat ride, and the queue, because this was built back in the 60s, the queue, and that was before the ADA laws went into effect. So these queues are so narrow. They still use them for one of the haunted houses, and we always think about that. We're like, my goodness, this is so narrow, it's uncomfortable. And I'm thinking, well, how did they do this? Because the attraction was still open at the time when those laws were put in place. So in that case, they would have anyone in a wheelchair go to an alternate entrance, probably to the exit, and just enter a different way, but they have to be accommodating. So you should be able to come over here and have a great time.
But so now going back over to the dragon, Miss Walt Disney World fan said she blew her top off. Well, she blew her top. Oh my god, I said top. And then Ross is like, this dragon's on fire in Alicia Keys' voice. And then Mr. Walt Disney World fan said, I think the sister blows smoke through its nostrils. Oh,
okay.
And then T-Pass 1118 wanted to know, have we tried Voodoo Donuts yet? We have not. The few times that we have gone, the line has been just so long, and we're just too lazy to wait in line.
I like donuts.
That is the honest truth.
I can't wait an hour.
We're not gonna say, oh yeah, well, no, the line's just too long, and we don't want to wait in that long line. Because I mean, let me tell you, they queue outside of the building. Outside the building, not even there's a queue inside.
Yep.
But they queue outside of the building.
Do they have the sign that tells you how far it is from what point?
No,
I didn't notice that.
I didn't see that.
I saw that on opening day.
Oh,
they had a team member there, like holding a sign.
Oh, well, they had the team members there, but I didn't see the sign when we went. But hi, Sarah. Sarah's here.
Hi, Sarah.
Sarah.
Hello.
Michael asked, "Are you guys going to be in the grand opening of the Pixar Pier at Disneyland in California, which opens June 15th. I wish.
I'm looking for any excuse to go out to California.
My goodness.
But no, we won't be there.
Wish we were going to the opening of that. But no, we will not be going to the opening of that.
Tony says you guys should come over to the UK and try our theme parks. I'd like to. I've heard you guys have a good selection of theme parks.
Anna.
I'm sorry, what?
Because Tony's sick.
Oh,
she's on his account.
Oh, I apologize.
Oh my goodness. We've already gone through this.
It's Anna
though. Anna. And then Michael, 2018. Yeah. Miss Walton World fan said, ain't worth standing in line for no donut. Yeah. I know.
I've heard they're great though. I've heard they're delicious and there's a good selection. I'm all about it, but I can't wait an hour.
I know. Michael's like, oh, but let me tell you what. Going back to Michael's question about if we're going to the grand opening. It was Justin Scard, who we are obsessed with. We love Justin Scard. Do you guys like him? If you don't know who he is, please look him up on YouTube. His videos are so top notch and are so good. Oh my goodness. But anyway, so I like what he said before on Twitter one day, because someone had asked him if he was going to the opening of some ride, I think that was opening over at Knott's Berry Farm or something like that. And he goes, no, I really don't like to go to the openings of these attractions or lands, because he's like, everybody and their mother is there, that's from the theme park media, and they're there and they're trying to get the shot and they're pushing, because believe me, honey, we were part of that theme park media and we've seen it. Let me tell you what, everyone wants that perfect shot. So they're like this. They're pushing and with their cameras. And you know what? I've come to the conclusion, I'm just like Justin, we don't need that. No. We don't want that.
It's going to be there forever.
It's going to be there for years.
Yeah. I mean, unless it catches on fire.
Oh my gosh. But no, so I'm okay with waiting a month or a week or whatever to go and experience it. But I like because Justin said that. He's like, I don't like when everyone pushes and shoves. He's like, I like just to go and experience it when the crowds are starting to die down and it's not that big of a fuss. And I agree.
Undertaker Punk says something cool. The first time you experience something, it's like opening day. That's very true. They're not going to do anything different on opening day that you wouldn't experience any other day when it comes to the attraction itself. Yes, you're going to see maybe more characters. You get to see special guest stars, but again, all of that lives on YouTube and on TV. You can always access it. You don't have to deal with the crowds and usually the heat, especially over here, for that kind of stuff.
And then I like what Undertaker Punk said. The first time you experience something...
I just said that. That's what we were all just talking about.
Oh. There you have it. See, now you know that I don't listen again.
Is this thing on? Hello?
Oh my god. Let's go ahead.
You know somewhere else you still can see a fire-breathing dragon?
Where?
Universal Studios.
Oh.
We're gonna go around the world. We're gonna talk about the new
Dragon.
Universal
Dragon.
Spectacle Night Parade, the
Japan.
best of Hollywood, at Universal Studios Japan. So this parade officially debuted today, I believe, the 17th, but it previewed earlier this week. And we have some really fun artwork here. The parade features Harry Potter, features Minions, features Transformers, and Jurassic Park / Jurassic World. And if you have not already seen this parade online, do yourself a favor.
Go watch it, you guys. After
YouTube
Theme Park
it
Talk Live.
right after this. Not now, but right after this.
After this, and before RuPaul tonight, watch the Universal Studios, Universal's, what's it called? The,
Universal Spectacle Night Parade, the best of Hollywood.
They-
Ooh, that's a mouthful.
They have a mouthful over there when
Yeah.
it comes to the names of their shows and parades.
It's
My gosh.
breathtaking.
It is
It really is.
It's a new type of parade that you've never seen. They're using projection mapping on the buildings, and these floats are massive. These are the largest parade floats you'll ever see.
I mean, they have the Hogwarts Express.
They have
the
the
Hogwarts
train.
Express.
There's
train
this thing.
going down the parade route, honey.
There's this
Oh,
thing that Optimus Prime does. I'm not going to say what it is.
Look it
but
up, darling.
Wig.
Hence, it's Transformers. What do you think it's
Weird.
going to do?
But I mean, it is so impressive. It really is. So do yourself a favor. When we are done here, type it into YouTube, look it up, and you'll see how.
Ooh, that
it
part
is
with the
really good.
dinosaurs, with the lights, and ooh.
Well, I have to correct John. Where's there a dragon at USJ?
I
There's no
know.
dragon
I
over there.
know.
The
You already
dragon.
said, speaking of Universal.
But that's Universal Studios Florida because we're the only ones that have the dragon.
Oh my gosh. And then
It's a second.
Candace said the same way.
It's a second.
Candace is like, that parade looks amazing. And then Mrs. Walt Disney World fan says, watch out, Disney.
Oh,
And
the
Sarah
Death
said,
Eaters.
right?
Oh my gosh.
Sarah's like, the Harry Potter part of the parade is so magical, isn't it? I'm obsessed with the Harry Potter. Oh my gosh. When they have Hogwarts Castle and they're inside towards the end. Oh,
Yeah.
Ah,
And they do these.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just.
Y'all better leave room in one of your suitcases because I'm going to tag along.
I know.
It's-
I know.
For the
That's.
honeymoon.
Can you believe it? That's what I'm so happy, and I mean, hopefully, I don't see why they would change it, but you know, when we go next year to Universal Japan, we'll get to see this parade in person.
I want to see it like 500 times before we see it in person though, because I'm obsessed with it. The musical score is fantastic in the beginning,
Yes.
and just the floats are
Yes.
just unreal. And it's like, and we said it, we were watching it for the first time the other night on TV. It is like seeing a show. It is truly a performance as they are going down the street. Each
Each section is like watching a show. Yeah.
They have these shows within the parade, and it's going. It doesn't do show stops. They don't do show stops. It's just constantly moving, and these performers can get on and off. It's fantastic.
It's so good.
Please go watch it.
Yes. Jenny's like, do you think they'll bring that over in Florida?
Well, USJ is fully owned now by Comcast, which is fully owning the Universal Orlando Resort as well. So there's a chance they could always do that if they wanted to.
I don't think so.
It's just the size of it. That's what I'm worried about.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I
Because
feel
over
like
here, it's
Japan is so much more, technology, like, progressive than what we are with the technology we see in the parks.
But I have a good feeling that down the road, it might be years though, but down the road we might get it because in the past these Universal Japan parades have had corporate sponsorships. This parade does not have a corporate sponsorship from what I've seen. I have not seen any corporate sponsorship on the poster or on any of the floats. They usually put it on the main float. So if it's fully Universal's baby, if they own every part of that, why can't they just send it over here? I just don't know how it would work.
Because you'll see these
It's
floats
big.
are huge.
And we mentioned this is a nighttime parade.
It's a nighttime
It's
parade.
a nighttime parade.
Oh
and it is
my
lit
gosh.
so well.
Yeah.
Oh, Undertaker Punk has a good point. We also have the land though for the third park. If they
Ah,
built
yeah.
the fourth park, then they could bring it over and use it in that park. That park could be designed specifically with that big parade in mind.
They can just build a parking lot and do the parade on loop all day long, and I will pay full price for that.
Oh my gosh.
Interesting. That's great.
Interesting. So now let's stay with the Universal theme parks, but let's come back to Orlando specifically, and let's talk about Halloween Horror Nights 20.
Dun dun dun.
Yes, darling. They have
28.
announced 28, darling. They have announced one of the houses that is coming this year. Go ahead and let the children know, if you don't even know. Yeah.
Trick or treat.
Trick or treat. I am so happy for this.
Trick or Treat, based off the film. That film was almost 7-8 years old, maybe even a little bit older. What's interesting about the film Trick or Treat, if you're not familiar with it, it takes place on Halloween night in a small town with 4 different stories that intertwine one another. The director of Trick or Treat is also the director of Krampus.
Oh,
So for those of you not familiar with that, the kind of haunted house feel we may be getting is similar to what Krampus was. But there was a Trick or Treat scare zone last year.
Mm-hmm.
Last year. So I think, yeah.
I am so
It's gonna be
happy
great.
about this. I'm obsessed with Trick or Treat. I love the movie. I love Sam. Undertaker Punk says they better have a Sam photo op, right? Diego's like, Trick or Treat, interesting. It's not super famous, so again, interesting. I know. Honestly, I feel like it's a cult following. It has a cult following to it. It's not like a big blockbuster Universal movie, but I feel like this is perfect.
Was it Universal? I don't think it was a Universal release. I could be wrong, but did y'all talk about how it was a scare zone last year?
Yeah, it was a scare zone.
It was very successful. It was.
Oh,
very
yeah.
It wasn't
successful.
necessarily scary, but I thought it looked phenomenal.
Everyone loved the Trick or Treat
It
scare
was
zone last year.
last year. The scare zone was the photo op scare zone. There's
Oh, it was
always
amazing.
there's always a photo op scare zone there, which means they always build a scare zone at Universal that has a lot of great photo opportunities, but not so much scare tactics to it. I think it was still scary though, because just that area
yeah.
alone. But it was really well done. Spot on when it came to the costuming and makeup and the performers they casted in those roles, and I think they'll bring them back again for the house now. This is not the first time they've done a house that was originally a scare zone. They did that with Sossenstein. They've done it with Psychoscarapy was a house before it was a street zone or scare zone. But I think it's going to be really very, very popular. It's going to have that long line.
Absolutely. Mrs. Walt Disney World fan said, didn't someone let the cat out of the bag?
Yes.
They did, honey. That is the real true tea of the week. So if y'all don't know, it was probably like around 11 o'clock at night. I was checking my phone, okay? I was checking Twitter, because that's what I do, is to make sure I'm still on, just in case there's anything breaking
In
news.
the loop, he's gotta be in the loop.
Gotta be in the loop, honey. I'm checking Twitter, and then all of a sudden, I see someone retweet a video from Halloween Horror Nights 28, and they're like, oh, I guess Trick or Treat's a thing. And I click on it, and I watch the video, and I was like, oh my gosh. But then I was like, but that's so, I'm scrolling through, and I said, but that's so weird that Universal didn't post anything, and HHN didn't post anything. And I was like, meh, whatever. I didn't really think too much into it. And then, honey, by the next morning, everyone was talking about it.
That was last night.
Everyone,
Yeah.
Was it last night?
Yeah.
Oh my god. So then everyone was talking about it, and but then the video was no, it was 2 nights ago.
Tuesday night?
2 nights.
Okay.
Yeah, 2 nights ago, and then the next morning the video was taken down from the website.
Sounds
And
like
then
something
they
Disney would do.
then they finally announced it officially. But I am so glad that they're doing it. I think it's going to be great. But what I want to know, okay? Now, I don't know if any of you are from California or have been to California's Not Scary Farm for their Halloween event, because over there they have a haunted house that has nothing to do with the Trick or Treat brand that is here. However, they do have a house that's called Trick or Treat, and it's so cool. And I am wondering if they're going to try to use that technology and bring it into this brand. Because if you pull it up, and if you're interested, look up Trick or Treat Not Scary Farm 2017, because 17 is when they had, you have to go in, they give you these flashlights, and you're going around, but the people that work in the haunted house control the flashlights, so they control what you're actually seeing. It is so scary.
It's a fan favorite over there.
Yeah, so I wonder if they're going to try to do something like that, but bring it into the actual Trick or Treat brand over here in Orlando, because I'm sure, well, in Orlando and Hollywood, because I'm sure Hollywood's going to get trick or treat as well. I don't
I'm
see
sure.
why they wouldn't.
Why not?
Yeah.
And so this is now the second house that we know about because we have Stranger Things,
Yes.
based on season 1, and we now have Trick or Treat.
Third house.
Oh, I'm sorry, third house. And then there's the original house that was announced as well already.
Yes.
Oh,
I thought I had the name of
right.
it.
I'm sorry, I can't
Right.
remember the name of it, but they have a
right.
third house, which is a sequel to a past house that they've done. So now we have 3 houses out of.
Dead Exposure,
Dead
Basement Zero.
Dead Exposure. Parker's like so excited to hopefully experience this house. You better, Parker. We'll go with you. Mr. Walt Disney World fan said, Not Scary had it going on. They know what they're doing. They do.
They do.
Not Scary Farm, they knock it out of the park every single year. And they just keep getting better. I'm telling you. I was watching them because they're so good. Jenny's like, oh yeah, and the lights can go
Completely off.
Yes, completely off. Yes. Undertaker Punk is like, so like what Busch Gardens did for the hotel casino house years ago. I don't know. I never saw that.
We never
I didn't
experienced
experience
that. We just recently started doing Busch Gardens Hallow Scream within the past 2 or 3 years.
2 years ago.
And it's a great event. Not Scary Farm is definitely up there though, with HHN Orlando.
Yeah, oh my gosh, it's so good. It's so good.
And they have such a great fan base there.
Oh yeah,
it's
they
really
do.
HHN does as well. I think they have some of the best fans over here, but the Not Scary people they really get into it and they do it months ahead and they have events for people it's great. It's really cool. I love it. I can't believe that movie though. Trick or Treat, Undertaker Punk said it came out in 2007.
2007.
2007.
I thought we saw it when we were in New York.
Wow. And it took this long. But it's here. And we're gonna have it
here.
They should make the house a little more interactive. Like when you
I
go
also-
up to Mr. Krieg's house, that's his
Oh.
name, you actually get a piece of candy.
No.
Oh my god, everyone walks out of the house with a piece of candy.
That's
That'd be
crazy.
If you've seen the movie, you know. Yeah. So
Oh, yeah.
That'd be funny.
Oh my gosh, Mr. Walt Disney World fan, yes. This
Yes.
was in my head. Justin did some good videos of Not Scary Farm.
Terrifying.
So this is how we knew about Justin Scarred before that, but this kind of just like put the cherry on top of everything. So if you want to see something really cool and experience Not Scary Farm as like a POV and with someone really fun, look up Justin Scarred and his Not Scary Farm video from 2017, because he was able to go to the media night because he gets to go in the house by himself and he experiences it and he videotapes it and it's just so good. He puts jump scares in it, so like you get like scared in the video.
Yeah, you're watching the video and he was jumping off the couch because he was
It
so
like
scared.
scared me.
The editing is
It's
so well
so
done.
good.
And it's fast paced and you really
so
get a
good.
feel for what the event feels like and looks like. So
I love Justin.
yeah.
Oh my god. Undertaker Punk said, "I like how Justin talked to the
Inmate
props."
Inanimate?
Yes.
Inanimate
props.
Oh,
He
he
said
talks
inmate.
the inmate props.
The
So-
inmate props, no, the inanimate props. Yes, I know. Jago says, "Is Justin the one that did the Route 66 tour a while back?"
Yes. Mm-hmm.
He did that, and
He
so
did
did
Adam the Woo as
Adam
well.
the
They're
Woo.
good friends though, so they probably were on that together. I didn't get watch the whole series, but yes.
Jenny. I'm pretty sure that was my first video that I saw after you guys recommended it. Now I'm hooked.
It's addicting.
It's addicting because
It is.
He's just so good.
He's so
Look at us. We're just like all this whole time. Watch Justin Scarred.
Plug.
I know. Go to youtube.com/Justin Scarred. Parker, I love watching Justin's videos of Not Scary in my room alone with the lights off. Oh no, I can't do that. It's super scary and I'm
Awesome viewing experience.
yeah, no, I can't do that. That's too much.
We should put the VR thing on your
Oh
head.
no. Absolutely not. I can watch a regular video of like something scary with the lights off in the room, but not the way because Justin, I'm telling you, he puts in those like jump scares in the video, so like you'll jump while you're watching the video. I can't. Oof, no.
So I think Universal is what they're doing is they're not spending the money they're saving on not doing the rights to Bill and Ted this year. They're spending on Stranger Things.
Get out of here! You're so right.
And Trick or Treat because I'm gonna look it up now. Don't mind me. I'm just curious.
And so last year was the last year for Bill and Ted, and last year was also the last year for Elvira. At,
Oh,
Yes.
and Not Scary
but
Farm.
not Scary Farm.
Yes,
Okay.
you are so right about that. And that was a big to-do too, because she had been there for years. Oh, you're right. Jenny, Patrick in that VR was amazing. Oh no, I can't do VRs. No, I can't throw.
That thumbnail.
Oh no.
That was a good one. No, this so it was released by the production company for Trick or Treat was Legendary Pictures. It was distributed by Warner Brothers. So, and Universal already has a good connection and partnership with Warner Brothers, so I'm sure they got a deal. But they're probably spending a good chunk of change on Stranger Things because that's really hot right now. That's what everyone's talking about and obsessed with on Netflix. And then they are also getting the rights again for Trick or Treat. So I'm really wondering, is this going to be a big lineup this year with some big IPs?
I hope so. Undertaker Punk says, I have a feeling Bill and Ted will come back though in a few years. Yeah, I mean, I'm curious what they're gonna do if they're gonna have like no show.
That's what happened with Elvira.
Maybe they'll put, what's the name of that group? The dance troupe. Maybe they'll put them in the Fear Factor Theater.
Yes, that would make sense.
Yeah, and they bring that crowd
They do
because
bring
they
that
are
crowd.
so good.
Oh, what's the
Why
name of
can't
the
we
troupe?
think
I
of
just
it?
lost my Asylum. No.
It's oh my gosh.
Someone's going to say it in a second.
I don't feel like speaking Undertaker Punk or Parker.
the
one
dancing
of you
group.
two are gonna say it and let us know. Mr. Walt Disney World fan says, "Not scary. We'll take it up a notch since Elvira is gone. Probably, they probably
They gotta
will.
get the turnstiles going still. 'Cause
Yeah.
a lot of people were coming. I think people really did come to that event specifically just to see her show
Oh yeah,
because she has such a cult following.
People have tattoos of her.
Oh, they're
Like
obsessed.
everywhere.
yeah.
She is super nice.
We
She's
went.
really
We
nice.
went 2 years ago, so the year before she was done, and we went to go to Not Scary Farm, and we saw her, and we had a blast.
Mhm.
We had so much fun watching her perform. I mean, for her age, and she was just doing all these different tricks and dancing around. I was like, oh my gosh, I love her. But
And they had merchandise, a lot of cool merchandise.
Oh, yeah.
They had a
Oh,
whole
yeah.
store devoted to her. And it was
Hey,
really cool.
Academy of Villains.
Academy of Villains.
Thank you.
Undertaker Punk, I told y'all. See, I should have bet on that. Darn it.
Jenny
Yes,
asks,
thank
does
you.
Fear Factor Live still get crowds? On a really, really, really busy day.
On a really busy day, it does. But I mean, it doesn't have the crowds as it used to.
It doesn't have the
when
best
first
location
opened.
either. There's not a lot of traffic going back there to begin with, so it is interesting. But I still like the show. But yeah, I'm ready for a change.
Sarah said it was Academy of Villains. See, look at y'all.
Undertaker Punk said it took me a while to think of it.
Y'all, see, you guys are smarter than us.
So I
Remember
think that would be a smart move. I think that they would definitely be able to get a full show every night because Academy of Villains does have a great following. They are great performers.
But
yeah.
but my question is though, so then I feel like Universal, well, Halloween Horror Nights is gonna lose that fun factor. Like, because of Bill and Ted, you knew you were seeing a show that was devoted about pop culture and things that happened that year.
That relief of comedy.
You know, that relief of comedy.
Yeah.
I feel like every event, Halloween event, has that. Busch Gardens has that. Halloween Horror Nights, you know, I mean, Not Scary Farm has that. The thing's called The Hanging. So I feel like they're gonna miss that if they don't do it. But if they do it, I feel like Bill and Ted, the characters, will be spoofed in it. If they did something like that.
I think that Academy of Villains though could make it funny. I know that they're all about the dance performance, but because even Miss Walt Disney World fans said didn't they perform at the Fast and Furious grand opening? They did, and you saw them there without any masks, that's something of the other group from HHN Hollywood, the
Jabberwockies.
Ooh, child.
Ugh.
I could not. Honey, the music was blaring loud when we saw the Jabberwockies, and I was falling asleep.
We both fell asleep
Girl.
on that show. Anyways, but they can change, their appearance and kind of just tailor it to whatever they need to do. I'm sure they can make it funny. There were some parts of the Academy of Villains show the first year they came to HHN that were funny and people were laughing, but they still integrate their, the dancing and the special effects and things like that. So I think they could make it still a comedy. But I wonder what they're going to do, or if they're just trying to get away from having a stage set up over there in front of Mel's and Cafe La Bamba. I think it didn't cause really a traffic issue. The team there was really good at keeping that flowing while show was going on. So I don't think that was a problem. I think they might just put them over there because they need people to be able to sit down, relax, and get the show. But then maybe have something else. Maybe they'll have an icon this year, and the icon will have a show out there in front of Mills.
But there was a stage issue because of the hurricane.
Yes,
right?
that did cause a problem this past year.
And they had the Hurricane Irma show, or shows, right?
It was Irma, yeah. I don't remember.
But that's what they called it. That's
Oh, they
what,
did?
Yeah,
I didn't
they,
know. I'm sorry.
Because they had to build the stage in front of
Pantages.
The Pantages.
That looks cool though. I like that location. Yeah. That was really neat.
And then T-Pass 1118 says you should do a fear factor in a blog. We should. Because he did it one year, and obviously you would have to do it again because I would not be doing it.
So I did it.
I will not do it.
I did it before I met Patrick, and I won. I still have the T-shirt. I don't fit into it anymore, but I have the T-shirt. And then I did it not even a year ago with Patrick, and I didn't make it to the second round. No.
Wait, didn't we vlog that?
No.
I thought we did.
We filmed it, but we didn't put it in the vlog because he was like, "You didn't win."
Oh, you're right. I'm guilty. Okay, now I remember.
No.
Yes,
So
because
I
he didn't
did
win.
it.
I was like, no, I can't put it in this vlog.
It was the second challenge, the squid challenge. It was the squid challenge.
Oh my.
And I didn't have the best partner. So, but Patrick was watching, he was filming the whole time.
Yes, I remember that now. Undertaker Punk says, and everyone thought that FFL stage would be torn down by now.
No.
Well, yeah.
I never believed that rumor.
I mean, hey.
I'm sorry. I never.
That was a good rumor, though. That was a good rumor because
down the line,
Bill and Ted was not going to be returning, and it just looked like that was a thing that was really going to happen. But I forgot to tell y'all. I want to tell y'all this.
Quick, we wrap it up.
I know. So, again, I was on Twitter, looking through Twitter, okay? And I forgot who the source was, but they had pictures to prove it. So I guess Disney filed a patent on a new, for the land behind Magic Kingdom to put water installation and all that stuff. And I guess, because they had the screenshots of everything, I guess that the theater that was supposed to be on Main Street is now officially canceled because it was not in those paperwork.
Like, that's the news?
That's the news. That's
I
the
thought we
tea.
knew the theater.
Clearing news.
No, it was like a rumor. Is it gonna happen? Is it not gonna happen? But no. Now in the things that was filed, it shows Tron, and then where the new theater was supposed to happen, because I think it was called like, is it MK1, MK2, or M1 and M2? Those were the two sections that they had originally filed for Orange County or whatever.
Yeah.
But now it just says MK2, and it's just where Tron's at. And MK1 is no longer a thing. So I think that is like an official thing saying there's not gonna be a theater. That is now done. That is.
It's so funny how in the past there's been so many projects that Disney's announced, and I think a lot of different theme parks have announced, and then they end up having to cancel it. It's like they never go back and say we're canceling. They just never mention it.
They never meant. Yes, you're so right. They don't say.
It never existed. That in front of thousands of people at D23,
Yes.
we never mentioned this theater was happening. So
Yes.
I feel like I wish they just would give us closure. It's okay. No one's gonna be mad at you for saying, sorry, because of this and this, we're not doing it anymore. They just don't mention it again. And we're all just, for years, thinking they're just taking a long time building this theater backstage. Can't wait till it's done. It should be done by now. They never broke ground, because guess what? They never told us.
Mrs. Walt Disney World fan said, just sweep it under the rug.
Let's hope the monorails don't get canceled, too.
Right?
Child.
All right, so Patrick has some big news.
Oh, yes. Oh, well,
Not yet.
But yes, make sure to tune in to Monday Fun Day this Monday at 6 p.m. because we do have a big announcement that we can't wait to tell you guys that it's going to be something that's going to change. Something's going to happen this summer.
We're pregnant. Okay, sorry.
No, but yeah, so make sure to tune in to Monday Fun Day at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on our channel because we're going to go live and we're going to kiki. We're going to talk about RuPaul's Drag Race and obviously, hello, the royal wedding because that would have happened. And then we have a big announcement that we cannot wait to tell our family and our co-hosts
It's
here.
something good. Miss Walt Disney World fan is asking.
Oh, yes.
Something good. Yes, it's something good.
Something
No.
good, but it's something that's changing. I don't know. I'm just gonna give it away. So never mind. Yeah, something good.
Just tune in, y'all. Just tune in. Set your clocks.
Set your clock.
Undertaker Punk pregnant? I knew it.
Oh.
Are you saying I'm fat? Oh my goodness. Okay.
T-Pass,
Oh.
the last question. So T-Pass wants to know thoughts on what's taking Emerald's spot.
Emeralds.
Yeah, Emeralds. What did I say?
Oh,
Okay.
Emeralds. Oh, yeah,
Over at
emeralds.
City Walk. I don't know. But I feel like whatever it is, it's going to be better than the NBA experience over at Disney Springs.
I think it might have been Parker that said it. I'm not sure. And I don't think he's with us tonight, but if it was someone else that's watching right now, I'm sorry. But I thought it was him that said, I want it to be like Hell's Kitchen. I want Gordon Ramsay to come out,
Yes.
take my order, and scream at me.
That's horrible. No.
I'd pay money for that.
Anxiety.
I'd pay money for that. But I wish it was a Gordon Ramsay restaurant. I would love to go to one of his restaurants.
I think Undertaker Punk just made it like that's what it should be. Voodoo Donuts overflow space.
There you go.
I'm
Hi,
telling you,
Tim.
they're gonna need it.
Tim, you're joining us at the end of the show,
no,
sir.
Tim.
But don't worry, you can go back in a few minutes and rewatch this.
if you like.
And you can still comment on the video afterwards and try
And join us for Monday Fun Day, which is another live stream we do on Monday.
Yep.
At 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Until then, you guys, please make sure that you subscribe if you haven't done so already. Please click that subscribe bell and click the subscribe button and click the bell to get notified when we're going live and when we're posting things on YouTube. And then also, we're on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. I almost said famous. At Gavin and Patrick. So follow us on there because we post things throughout the week, even when we're not on YouTube. So you can follow along and see what's going on. But we love you. We're going to awkwardly now have Jonathan get up and turn us off. Because we went old school today, as we
went
say.
old school today, darling.
But thank you guys for tuning in to Theme Park Talk Live. Wave goodbye, John.
Bye.
go.
Thank you guys for joining us for Theme Park Talk Live. We'll see you later.
See you later.
Bye.